Hey lovelies, it's Kate. Welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. I decided to build a shopping mall in The Sims 4. Now that The Sims 4 high school years is out, I feel like a mall would be perfect. So your Sims can hang out in this mall and they can have the best time. But you could also actually purchase this lot, like your Sim can purchase it and run it, because this is a retail lot. I've made use of the retail lot type from Get to Work to make this functional, so it's kind of everything all at once. It's a retail shop and it's functional, but at the same time it's also just a cool space for hanging out, and I feel like this is something that is really perfect for high school years. And I've also used many objects from the new pack for this. And yeah, here I'm just starting to lay out the shape. I knew that I would like to have a tower, like a curved room. You are not able to build a round room in a basement in The Sims 4, it's not working. So I just built a regular room and I lowered it like into the ground. You can see the terrain on the sides, like a very steep slope. And this way I was able to place a round room down there, and I wanted to have a really big space in the front because I wanted to place lots of benches, different signs, just all kinds of different things to make it look like a community lot, to make it look like a mall. And I had the best time building this. You know that I usually prefer to work on residential lots, but after building the high school, I just figured, okay, community lots are kind of fun and I could build a mall. Building a mall has been on my list since forever. I've been receiving comments about building a mall for years, and recently I've received more comments about a mall because of high school years. So I thought, okay, now it's time. After building the high school and having so much fun, it's now time to finally tackle the mall, and I had the best time. So I really wanted this to look like a mall. So I knew from the get-go that I would like to have a glass roof in the center so light comes in. And I also knew that I would like to have the very typical layout where the shops are located at the sides, and then you open up the floor in the center and all that stuff, like a really typical mall layout. So this is why I've built it this way. I have my roof on top and lots of windows around it, so enough light comes in. The windows are from Snowy Escape mainly here, and the ones in the round tower are from, I think, this fitness stuff pack actually. I wanted to have a tower that kind of has some windows, so it looks really modern and cool. I just love the round rooms and I love placing windows on them. But I also wanted to have a cool space where I could place lots of signs, and you will see that I'm going to place lots of neon signs on there because I wanted this to be like the outside of a mall where you have all the symbols of the shops on the inside, so you know what's on the inside, if that makes sense. So I've placed lots of signs on the round room, as you will see. And yeah, my idea was to turn this into a proper retail shop, a gigantic retail shop. So if your Sims should purchase this lot, they are running a really big business, I guess. There are different types of shops in there, but I've also mainly included lots of different things which could be cool for teenagers. So after school, your teenagers can just go to the mall and hang out, and I've included the photo booth from the new pack, the ferris wheel. You might have spotted it at the beginning already, and it's functional. You can just place it from debug and it's still functional, so your Sims can ride on the Ferris wheel. And I've built a cafe. There are so many benches in there, a bubble tea shop, different things that your Sims can use. There are different food stalls, and technically you would have to hire someone who takes care of the food stalls, but there's like this buffet table. I don't remember from which pack it is, but when you place it, even on a community lot, a Sim can just put food on the table and they can just grab some food. And this way, technically, you could just visit the lot, put some food on the table, you just pay a couple of hundred simoleons or something, I guess, and then everyone can just grab some food, and this way the Sims can just hang out and have some food. I feel like this is essential for a mall, like at least for here in Germany, the mall experience, when I think of it, it's like shopping and hanging out, and then when you are done, you just grab something to eat. So I definitely wanted to include a big area where your Sims can eat something. And here I'm just laying out the floor plan. You can see a really traditional layout, and you can already see that down there, there's like an underground part, like where I've built the tower in the beginning, and down there is a cinema, because again, I wanted to include lots of different things for your Sims to enjoy, for your teenagers to enjoy, so they can just visit the lot and then go to the movies. It's just the TV from Movie Hangout stuff. There's also one from Get Famous that would be perfect. So in case you don't own Movie Hangout, you can just place the one from Get Famous, or you could also place just any TV on the wall and just size it up, just mentioning this in case you have to modify the lot because you don't own the packs. And I've also included an arcade, so there are like different objects in The Sims which can be used for this. Again, I wanted to incorporate different areas for your Sims to hang out, especially the teenagers, so this is kind of a mix of everything, a retail lot from Get to Work, but also just a really fun community lot where your Sims can just have the best time. This is also why I've kept the area in between the shops quite open with lots of benches and stuff, so there would be enough space to hang out. And here I'm working on the food area. I decided to place some of the food stalls, and I left a space, a one tile wide space behind it, because this is where the Sim that you would hire enters the stall, and I've just placed some doorways in front of it. I've tested this, it works, because I just wanted this to look like this. Like, I didn't want to have the different designs and layouts of the food stalls. I'm going to place some of them on the outside, like different ones on the outside near the Ferris wheel, and also one at the top where I've had some empty spaces. But for the main food area, I wanted to just have this really plain and simple layout, so I didn't want the layout of the actual food stalls, but the ones on the outside will have their actual layout. I've then placed some tables over there, some bigger ones from high school years, so if you have like a big group, they can sit on one table, but also just a table and two chairs, so all kinds of different things. And I really wanted this to look like a mall, so at first it looks a bit plain and simple, but very soon I'm going to incorporate more color. I just had to figure out how I want this to look, so it looks like a regular public building, but also I just had to add a pop of color, and I wanted this to look fun, so it's like a proper mall. And also the bubble tea shop looks very fun and colorful. I have created one like after high school years came out, and the original one looks quite colorful and happy and bubbly, and this is kind of the vibe of a bubble tea shop. But the one that I created has a really modern and minimalistic design, because I just wanted to incorporate my style into this. Like, I wanted to create a version of a bubble tea shop which has some Starbucks vibes almost, I guess. But here in this case, it's really colorful. This here will be a really proper bubble tea shop. So in case you thought that the last one wasn't colorful and happy enough, this one is going to be colorful. And I just removed a wall because I wanted everything to be really open. Like, when I think of a mall, this is what I think of. I didn't include any doors mostly, so it's really just open and the Sims can walk in. So this is the bubble tea shop. I've used the fence from Get to Work for this, which is like really small and your Sims can step over it. I then used the spandrel that you can see at the top. And because it's such a big spandrel, I think it's from the Werewolves pack, it's just perfect to attach a sign to it. And the neon sign is also from high school years. It's just the perfect sign for the bubble tea shop. And I wanted to have this pastel pink floor. The wallpaper is this beautiful, I don't know what it is. It looks mint green, but it also looks blue. I don't know. But I wanted this to look really happy. But I also didn't include too many objects in each store. The build is gigantic and it's already like extreme, I feel like, when you're placing it and loading it. So I just didn't clutter every single store like crazy. I just furnished everything beautiful and properly, but I just didn't want to clutter everything. And this was like, it's already overkill. Like, the whole build, it's gigantic. There are so many objects. And this is the parking lot, because I thought, okay, I need a parking lot for this. And I've placed lots of cars from Debug. And I then wanted to create a custom parking lot. For this, I've used the lighting strap from Spa Days, you can see here. So I just tried to create my very own parking lot, and I've placed all these lighting stripes only to then stumble upon an object from debug. I don't even know from which pack it is, but this object is for a parking lot, and I could remove all the stripes from Spotty because this object already had the white stripes. You will see what I'm talking about in a second. And this, I think this object, this small thing, is for a bus stop, and I just included it and placed some benches over there. I did not find a regular bus in debug, only school buses, so I thought, okay, I'm just going to place it there as if someone is waiting. I used these gigantic lights, and yeah, here you can see the object finally. And I removed all the stripes. I then placed the debug object in the center, and I then had to rearrange all the cars so they fit below the object. You can see it here, and I've used different cars, like different sizes, colors, so it looks realistic, and I just decorated everything. I've placed this movie poster on the outside, and I just wanted to have more decoration on the outside so it looks like a mall. And at first I was hesitant because I thought, okay, why would there be a movie poster? But then eventually later on I decided to include a cinema, and then I thought, okay, it's perfect. It of course makes sense that they like have a movie poster on the outside if there's a cinema down there. So it all made sense eventually. And I'm also very proud of the round shapes in the front. It looks a bit weird, but I really wanted to have this underground area and this wonderful round shape and all kinds of different things. And then I just placed this round debug object. It's like a flower bed, and also the new rug. It's like a stone rug from high school years below. And I then started to furnish the first retail store, and I had no idea which colors to choose. I had no idea what to choose. Like the next ones are like better. I feel like I really had to get like into the mindset of really building a mall because this was so new for me. I've placed the mannequins, and I'm still afraid. I think they patched it. I'm like really close to just removing them and uploading the build without these 4 mannequins, and I'm just asking you to place these 4 mannequins yourself because I'm just kind of scared that they did not fix this. Because in case you have no idea, in the past when you would upload a build with a mannequin and someone would try to download it from the gallery, the game would just crash. No one could place this build. I'm not even sure if you could just access it. Like if, I don't know, it's really bad, or it was really bad. Apparently it's fixed now. And I think like for the Tony Stark mansion that I had built the underground area of the Tony Stark mansion, like his laboratory area, and I had used some mannequins back then, and I wasn't aware of the issue, and I just dressed up the mannequin so it would look like a mannequin for his suit and everything, his superhero suit and all that stuff. And then people were like, yeah, can't place your lot, and I was like, okay, that's weird. And then I found out what's going on, and at this point I had deleted the lot from my save file. Like I do not collect the builds in any save file. I'm bulldozing it. When I'm done, I save it to my library, I save it to the gallery, and I download the tray file, and that's it. Like I just delete it in my game because the build is out there and I can just grab it from the gallery myself if I need it. But yeah, the problem was I could not access the Tony Stark mansion myself back then, so I couldn't fix this, if I remember correctly. So mannequins are scary in this game, so I think I might just remove them. So you will just have this one store without the mannequins. Yeah, and this is a sports shop. You can see that I tried to create a really fancy entrance for this one. I've used a debug object from Snowy Escape, and it looks like the perfect doorway for a shop like this. I've used these shelves from Get to Work, and I've placed all these snowboards on top and different things, so it's like really like a outdoor sports shop. I have also placed a tent over there and a little fireplace, so it looks like some type of scene to just really sell the thing. And also these bikes, just different things that came to my mind, and I really tried to design it so it looks really colorful and cool, and I really did my best here. And eventually I placed from City Living this floor decoration to create a basketball court because I thought it's like so cool to use this as a floor. Also some gym equipment, the telescope for the outdoor area, and here you just saw it. I placed this object, and yeah, I was so proud of this one. This might be my favorite in the whole build. And I then built a shoe store. This is on the opposite side of the clothing shop that you just saw. Well, and as far as I know, when you're running a retail shop, your Sims can sell and buy everything now. So they could just go in there and buy different things. When you're using the mannequins, your Sims can actually try on clothes and you can actually shop a look, basically. But when it comes to all the other objects, they can just buy them. This is just a decorative shoe. Like, all these shoes are just decorative, and technically it would make a lot of sense for your Sims to buy them, unless they want to use them to decorate their home. But when you look at the other shops, like, I'm going to build a shop which has some stereos, just some different things, and you could just buy a stereo and put it in your home. So all kinds of different things. Or a pet shop, so you could buy a scratch post for your cat, for example. And as always, you could always make some changes to this. This is like a great foundation. If you're like don't like the shoe shop, you could literally just remove the shoes and place anything on there. This doesn't really have a shoe branding, so I'm just really curious if you use this, if you like it, in which way you will use it. Are you going to run a retail shop? Will your high school Sims hang out here? If you should use this, leave a comment down below, or if you're planning to use it, leave one as well. Just let me know what you think of this and if you want to use this. Also, I think it would be so cool if we would have a proper mall pack, because this is like really overwhelming probably to run as a retail shop, but just imagine we had a proper mall pack. This would be the most amazing Sims 4 expansion pack ever. Like a really gigantic mall pack, and just everything you would need, different functions, the like different ways to run this. And oh my gosh, I would love this so much. Like, this is like my number one pack that I want now, because I had the best time building this, and the more I thought of it, this would be so fun. This here is a toy store. I tried to make it really colorful. I've used the wallpaper from Spa Day because it's glowing, and this is like the most neon colorful wallpaper we have in this game. I've placed some doll houses, different dolls, different things, and I had stacked some teddy bears on top of each other just for decorative purposes in the entrance area. And I then came to realize that it would make sense to use some of these signs in front of the items, so it really looks like something is sold. And I used these party balloons that I found, I think in debug probably. I want this to look really colorful. Later on, I'm going to decorate the outside of this store, so there will be an outside area which is not directly part of the store, where your kids can just hang out and play, because again, I wanted to incorporate different things to just hang out. And I've placed just so many different things in there. I was just looking at Build By and I thought, okay, what could be fun, what is a cool toy, and all that. Yeah, so your Sims can just buy these toys, doll houses and all that, and you can just place it at home. And this here is the pet shop. I found this beautiful neon sign in Build By, which has, I think it's a fox, but it almost looks like a dog. So I thought, okay, this could be the correct sign. Other signs are like in Simlish, and you don't really know what it's saying. So I was just going by the design. Sometimes there's a dog in there, or just anything. Sometimes it's nothing. So I just used all these neon signs pretty randomly. And once again, I've used all these shells to place the different objects, and your Sims should be able to buy them. And also, like, it looks really fun because when you look at the litter box, you can see that like it's filled because you cannot place the empty one. And I just built counters in every shop to have the register and all that. And I feel like if you're visiting this lot with a pet, the pets will just have the best time and will probably just hang out in this one shop. This would be my best guess. I had a really hard time decorating this one because the objects look so random and I had no idea what to do really. So I've just used lots of like wall decals from cats and dogs to make it look beautiful. And look at all these kitties and doggos and how cute this is. Like the whole decoration. This is like so cute. I love this so much. And I definitely wanted to include like this type of store so you can just buy some different things for your kitties and doggos. And yeah, I feel like this is so cute. And I then just kept on decorating the entrance area, just not any store, but like the rest of the mall. I was kind of jumping back and forth. At the very beginning, I was working on the exterior, a bit of the floor plan. I then started to decorate and then started to work on the shops. And later on, I'm just going to jump back to the outside and will decorate there a bit more. But this here is the arcade. You can see that this one is located in the round room. And I've included 2 doors, so you can access this from the inside from the mall, but you could also directly enter the arcade and spend some time in there. I just wanted to have both options, and there will be another door later on. So behind this room will be the whole outdoor area, including the ferris wheel. So if your teenagers just hang out there and want to have all the fun, they can just hang out on the ferris wheel, visit the arcade, just different things. And I wanted this to look very dark yet colorful. I wanted there to be like some 80s vibes, like the type of style that you think of when you think of an arcade. I didn't want this to be very stylish, but kind of 80s old-fashioned, like very dark. And I feel like I nailed it because it looks colorful but also weird. Like I love the 80s style and vibe, but I just wanted to have this really specific style for the arcade. And this cafe is located at the top. So we have the sports store, the clothing store, and the shoe store at the bottom, like when you enter the mall, just located down there. And then up here we have the toy store, a hi-fi stores you will see, and also the pet store, a cafe, different things. And I will also start to decorate this area here. Once again, you can see that I'm also decorating the outside of the store. So I really wanted to have more spaces where Sims once again can just hang out and spend time to have the whole mall experience. So you can just use the lot for this. And I felt like this made it look more realistic. So we have this cafe, but then on the outside they are allowed to put some tables and stuff. And I'm now also decorating the outside area of the toy store. So I've placed some of these chairs, which are from high school years, and this play object, so your toddlers can play in there. And you can here see I'm placing some photo booths. There are different ones in high school years and different benches. And this is the store that I mentioned. You can just buy a stereo in there, different objects, earbuds, for example, the speaker object from high school years. It's very dark and moody, and I've used these party lights in there and changed the color so it has this type of vibe. It's one of the smaller stores because honestly this was just perfect for this, because I didn't want to include like tons of objects, so it was perfect. And this here is the area at the bottom. I had already decorated the, I mean, you could just call it hallway. There's not much going on. Again, lots of benches, and I've placed some movie posters, so I jumped straight to furnishing the cinema here. I raised the platforms so I would be able to have the chairs on different levels, so it really looks like a cinema. I've used everything in red, like the color block challenge, because I wanted this to look like a proper cinema. I've used these lights on the floor, and I just wanted to have no ceiling lights in this area, so I just have the perfect mood for this. Like these armchairs are just from the base game, and I've placed lots of them. And at first I had used the TV from Get Famous and sized it up, but then I decided to use the one from Movie Hangout, as I've said earlier. I've also included a bar and again some armchairs, so you could just hang out and gather there and like wait until the movie starts. And this would also be so cool to have like a proper like a proper pack for this, or it could be part of the mall pack that I'm hoping for. Like, you know that I'm all about residential lots, as I've said earlier. Like, everyone who's been around here for a while, some people were asking for community lots, but I'm like always working on residential lots. And as I said, I've now opened up to also work on community lots. Like, I really came to appreciate community lots more and the whole building process. But this also made me think of the functionality of community lots and the options we have, and I've just came to realize that this is something that could be such a important focus for different packs, because like at this point we don't have that many options. There could be an overhaul for different packs, like the get to work pack, to like add more functions. And also we have so many residential worlds and all that, so many different themes. I think it would be so cool to have a couple of packs which like give us maybe a theme park, or maybe even a small fair, so it's like not too much. Like a theme park would be too much maybe for a Sims pack, and also a mall, different things. But yeah, this is it. You can here see lots of screenshots. This build is available in the gallery. My ID is KateEmerald. You can also grab the tray files from my Patreon. And speaking of which, it's time to thank my wonderful Emerald Patreons and my Emerald YouTube members. A big thank you to Mehmet Ali Baris Khan, Paula Anna, Asia, Emma Barnes, Lisa Martin, Leah Cross, Saturated Spark, Shannon McClam, Stephen, and Helena Lynn. Thank you so much, and a big thank you to all my other Patreons and my other YouTube members, and of course a big thank you to anyone who's watching this. Thank you so much for being here. I love you all so much, and yeah, I hope your Sims might enjoy this wall. Please leave a comment down below if you should use this build, if your Sims will enjoy it, and yeah, I wish you a perfect day. I hope you are doing all so well. I love you so much, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.